events, and issues shaping our community. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
We're coming to you from the plaza of the state capitol in Tallahassee. These special segments of Comcast Newsmakers commemorating Children's Week up here. And our guest this hour is Theresa Flury from the Guardian at Litem program here in Florida. Thanks very much for joining us. This is something that many people know about right now because we've educated them over the years, but
That's correct.
This is something that you advocate for the child in the courtroom, and that's something that's very important, isn't it?
Yes, actually, we're unique in that we only have one mission, and that mission is to advocate for the best interests of these children. We don't have to worry about the parents, we don't have to worry about anybody else, it's just the child.
And sometimes the child wants to go one way, and you think you should go the other way, and that's when you run into a little bit of conflict, I would suspect.
Right. We really do try to align what we believe is in the best interest with the child, and that increases as the child gets older. But in dependency court, it's different. The state's role is different. The state has assumed that parental role, and as you know, being a parent, every parent looks out for the best interest of their child, as opposed to necessarily what the child wants.
In your role as advocates for the child, what's your biggest challenge when you deal with these situations?
Probably resources, just like every other state agency. Not only our own resources, but the resources that are available for services for the children, whether it's educational opportunities or health care. Those are our biggest challenges.
When we take a look at any budget cuts that might come your way, and I suppose everybody's suffering from the economy and the lack of revenue up here in Tallahassee, what does that mean for your organization? Just means the number of children you can actually attend to?
Yes, we have been increasing our volunteer numbers, and that helps us get on more children. But our volunteers will tell you that the reason why they stay with the program is because of the support they receive from the staff and the results they see in the courtroom from our lawyers. So if we have to cut staff, in essence, we will be losing children that we can be on.
Okay, and that means what? Less representation for these children in the courtrooms?
Less representation for these
children. And what
children
happens
in the
then
courtroom.
if you can't be there for them?
Unfortunately, they don't have a voice. And it's so important for these children. Their entire world has been turned upside down. I mean, they've been removed from everything they ever know or they've ever known. And so, again, when we're the one agency that is speaking on their behalf, when they're receiving cuts in education, when their placement keeps being changed, when they're not reaching permanency, when they have medical issues, it's imperative that they have that one voice.
Now, you were a successful attorney before getting into this. A big change for you as far as the direction you took, right?
Well, I was an assistant public defender for the majority of my career, and I really saw the results of what happened when children didn't get the services. So many of them, without the services, without the stability, end up in the criminal justice system. So I really wanted to make a difference, and I think to do that, we have to help them when they're children.
Theresa, you've seen a big shift in the past year or so as far as the way DCF is handling foster children and taking children out of the household. Has that changed your job at all?
I don't really think it's changed our job. There has been more of a focus of keeping the children in the home. I mean, as experts will tell you, children always want to be with their parents. I think for the parents who take advantage of the services that are offered, it can be very good, but we really need to keep on top of these parents to make sure they do take the services, because otherwise it could be harmful to the children.
When you're saying taking the services, in many cases, parents need to be educated on how to be good parents, right?
Yes, and sometimes it's just a little bit of help with, a lot of times what they've learned growing up isn't necessarily what's acceptable for their own children, or the economic stressors that I think we're all feeling these days. Sometimes they just need a little bit of extra help.
Okay, well, thanks very much. Very important thing you do out there.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. This hour's newsmaker, Theresa Flury from the Florida Guardian ad Litem program. I'm Spiro Canton here, and as you can see, it's Children's Week behind me. Things are starting to heat up here on the plaza of the state capitol. We thank you for joining us.